everybody, and this is a part 2. So on my live stream, part 2 of the finale. So on my live stream, I started it off just to kind of get a gist of where we were going with this and what the galaxy was going to look like when we put down the NeoColor base and then the Prismacolors on top. Now I've put this all in the screen just to show you what we need. I've added a couple of pencils in the in case we need section. So the Prismas, I'll read them out now. So if you want to jot them down, and I will literally list now everything you need, and I'll also put it in the description. So I have got Lilac in PC 956. That's a in case maybe we need. I'll list those first. Pink Rose in 1018. Again, we might need. And the other one that I just added in was Cloud Blue in PC 1023. Again, we might need, probably will. Then the main staple colours which I've pulled out are Black, PC 935. You will need this, like your life depends on it. This is going to be your best tool that you're going to use today. Then you're going to grab yourself Ultramarine in 902. Then you're going to grab White in 938. This is going to do all your dusky, you know, it starts to look a bit more like it's going to be with all the stars. It's got like a mist, so that will help. I've picked up True Blue in PC 903. Again, this could be a nice one to mix in with your Ultramarine. Indigo Blue in 901. Hot Pink in 993. And your Dahlia Purple in 1009. So those are your Prismacolors. And what I've done, which makes it, because I know the colours, I've pulled them out so it's a lot easier to find, and I can just pick them up and it'll be a lot quicker. Then the NeoColors that I have pulled, so again, if you haven't got the set, you don't necessarily need a full set. If you wanted to try the singles and try this background, you can grab these 5 or 6. So first off, I have picked out Prussian Blue, this NeoColor 2s. I've picked up the colour Pink, Purple Violet, Mauve, Black, and Cobalt Blue. You will also need a Posca pen and some white acrylic paint. Now, in terms of paintbrushes, you can use a water brush, this is a Zig detailer in the yellow, but I personally prefer a proper paintbrush and a round one. And the reason being is that with this, because of the paper, you don't want a huge, now this is the main tip, and honestly, I've made this mistake, as have other YouTubers. This paper does not do well with a lot of water. If you're using a water brush, it's a lot harder to control the water because you've got lots in the barrel. If you grab yourself a glass of water for your paint and a brush, you can dab off excess water on a paper towel and it will get it just damp. And that is what you're kind of aiming for. You're not aiming for a brush that's soaking. You're aiming for a brush that's just damp and pretty good to, you know, be able to control. And this is just the size 16 in the Graduate Daily Roundie brushes, and it's the round. They do come in a variety, and we will need smaller brushes. So I have got ones like the number 4, and you can see against that how much different and how small the bristle part is in comparison to this one. So you can get right into those small spaces with this, and you can also get in with a little bit of pencil. So you don't have to worry too much about the little tiny bits in between because we've got a smaller brush. As I said, this would be perfect for those small areas, but I don't necessarily recommend using the water brush because you can't control the amount of water really that comes out. So I'm just going to dive in because, as I said, I was doing the live stream today and I wanted to show you first off how we're going to kind of head with it. That was my starting point. I did promise and I've gone off. I've done what I've had to do, taken a bit of a break for my back. Now I'm back and I'm going to do this all completely because we finished her off today. This is what the colour of the Neos look like. Don't worry about this. Forget that. This is what they look like together, meaning these are the lovely colours that we're going to combine, but we're going to use mostly the black and the Prussian blue. They're going to be our main, and there's going to be hints of these four in the galaxy, plus lots of stars. So it really does work. My other tip is grab yourself a packet of baby wipes for when you have your paint, because you're going to splatter. And if you have and you want to speed the whole process up, this is a heated craft tool dryer, and it just dries off one side at a time, so you can go in straight away with your pencil rather than having to wait for your watercolors to completely dry overnight. So you have to ensure that your Neo 2s are completely dry before you add that pencil on, otherwise you're going to peel your paper, you're going to have a hot disaster, and that won't be you just won't be happy with it. So with that being said, I'm just going to straight away just dive in. And as I said with Neo, I've said it before, these are your base. You're using these predominantly as your base, and they're also really messy on paper dry because they're not made to be dry, they're made to be wet. So when they first go down, they look like crayons that you've been playing around with like as a child, but it doesn't end up that way. So I am recording this as a private live stream and I will publish it. So if there's any interruptions, I can't edit this down. It is recorded as a live stream, but private. So if there's any background interruptions or any noise in the background at any time, I do apologise. I am recording this at nearly 9 o'clock at night. All right, so I'm going to just go straight in there. And first of all, I'm going to use this side before we head over here. I will zoom you in ever so slightly so you can see what I'm doing. And we're just going to keep going. So first of all, I've got my black, and this is my main colour for the back. Any galaxy background that you look at is going to be predominantly black with hints of the other colours. So make sure you're careful around the edging because we've got all this other ribbon that we've just coloured previously. And you want to go in quite decent and generous with your colour because this will cover a lot of your paper, which helps you so you don't have to do so much work with your pencils. If you were doing this just with pencils, you've got a lot of blending, to do, which is going to take you a lot longer than this, believe me. So straight away, I'm sort of planning where I would like all these colours to go. So I'm going to leave that corner. I want some colour there. I've got to kind of think about this. Where do I want the hints of colour to go? And there's no real big pattern to this. You can plant it where you want. So straight away, that was your black. Sorry, I didn't use my card then. So that was just your black. I mean, it's, this is just your black at the moment. I'm just kind of looking at, where I want colour and where I want a hint of different ones, whether it be pink or purple or, blue, whatever it might be. So just go in there with your black first. Then I'm looking at maybe bringing in, I'm going to go for the purple violet. And I don't want masses of this. I'm just going to go along the edge. I'm kind of looking what I'd like. And then I'm going to go for the Prussian blue. And I want a hint of that as well. So I'm kind of just going by my own taste and preference. And it's a good starting point to kind of look at a galaxy background as reference as well, to kind of see how much of these colours have been incorporated into those galaxy backgrounds, because there's so many different types that you can do. And, there are also tutorials out there. I know Colour with Claire did one, and I've done this previous as well, but I did it very short video, and it was also just to show you kind of what you're going to be doing. Then I'm going to head in with some pink, and I'm going to add a hint of that, not too much. I'm going to add hints of it. So, and then I'm just going to go back to black and fill in all those areas now that in between. So it really does make all the difference to add the hints of colour, but you've got to go back in with black. So it just makes all the difference. So I'm going to go under here with that. I'm going to go all there as well. Now, I'm not pressing like firm, you know, I say that firm, but I am pressing a decent sort of pressure, just enough to lay a good amount of the black on the paper, but I'm not like, you know, scrubbing it into the paper. I am putting enough down though that you can visibly see, you know, it's not teeny tiny. So all these bits in between will go into those after. But for now, we're focusing in on this sort of section. So I do it like section by section of ribbons. And I'll try and explain myself as well as I possibly can. Because as I said, I'm not a teacher. I'm not a professional artist. I'm not the best at these either. But I'm just showing you what my knowledge is of them and how I use them. And that's all I can go on, you know. So if you take away anything from this, then amazing. And do feel free to tag me over on Instagram, and my Instagram is Colour and Chat with Sammy, just like the channel. I try and keep it, you know, uniformed, and it's nice to see what you do. I love it. So I love being tagged in your work. I love to see. I'm going to pick up Cobalt blue now, which is a bit lighter than the Prussian, and I'm going to add this in. I'm going to do a hint of it here as well, just sort of down the side of that. And then I'm also going to pick up the pink. I'm going to put a little touch more of pink, because why not? If I want to take it out, all I've got to do is go in with black over it, and it cancels it out. If I find it's too much or I don't like it, good thing is I can always take it out. I can add black, and that's a problem solved. Okay, so like I say, when it's not activated, you've got a hot mess there going on, and you think, oh my God, I'm never going to like these Neos. Just stick with them, because if you're doing watercolour work, Neos are brilliant on this Caran dashboard. I highly recommend getting one of these aquarelle boards. They're amazing, and I do a lot of mixing on these and adding them into you know, pages that we do. When they're going directly on paper for a big, large background, they're better off as a base, in my opinion, if you want to smooth it out. Right, grab your paper towel, because this is so important. And as I say, I dab off just so I can control the amount of water that's on the brush. Now you can start to activate. Now I do wipe off so that I don't muddy all of the colours. And be careful around the edging, because you can obviously go over a bit too much. But just be cautious, you'll be good. If you're cautious, you're fine. So just allow the water to do the work. So I need to go back to my water. Just dab it off. Dab off and mix. You know, don't be afraid to do it. It's fun. It's fun. The whole point is that you enjoy yourself. If you enjoy yourself, you're absolutely winning. If you don't enjoy this and you find this medium's not for you, and you've only invested in a small set, then, you know, that's fine. We don't like everything. We're not going to like everything. You know, it's not everything is for us. I'm going to have to bring you over a little bit because I'm over this area here. You know, there's certain mediums we don't like. It's not a crime. You know, if these aren't for you, they're not for you. You can have them in your collection, revisit them. Don't judge them by first time is what I say, because first time is not a good impression to go by. because they take time to learn. Now, using them as a base, it does your work for you. And it also gives you a sort of stepping stone into what you want things to sort of look like or be planned out. So it's a really nice sort of introduction in how things can be as bases without being markers, you know. So, you know, it does take time and practice. That's all I'm going to say. It takes time, it takes practice, and we can't learn these things in one day or one sitting or one use. They take some time. Now, obviously with the black, it's the ultimate colour here, so just be careful on those bits. So I'm just letting the colours sort of merge together. And as I said, the good thing is that with these brushes, you can control the amount of water that's on your paintbrush. So don't be afraid to, you know, use a paintbrush on this rather than one. Just my personal opinion is don't use one of the water brushes because you can't really control on this paper. It's okay if you've got a watercolor book, you know, because that's what it's made for. But my personal opinion is grab your paintbrush and see what happens with that, and you dab off each time. You know, I've not got a wet brush. It's damp. It's damp. So just play with those colours a bit. Don't let your paper go too wet. And we've got still work to do. Now, you will have some buckling. This is not watercolour paper. It's going to be inevitable that you're going to have some buckling. And as I said, put some card there because you're going to go off the edge slightly. You're going to have some buckling. So if you don't mind that, perfect. If you want to go the long route and do a galaxy background without the Neo base, then I honestly take my hat off to you because it is quite a long-winded process. Whereas this gives you that starting point. This gives you that good stepping stone onto what colours you've got and where. And I absolutely love the process of this. And when I first did it, like most people, I thought, these are not going to be for me. I can't do these. This is not looking how it should. But the truth of it, it really does work. It works. And there's other ways. I mean, this is just how to sort of use them as a base more, not how to use them properly. If you want any watercolor artists, there's plenty on YouTube that use them, and they are incredible with them. But, you know, as I said, I'm not a trained artist, and if I can show you the knowledge in colouring, then I will. So I do hope that you have been enjoying the videos lately. If you have, let me know. And I hope that you've been enjoying these couple of uploads that I've done, because if you are, I can do a few more. Even though I do find talking to the camera pretty hard. I do find that I much prefer to talk to you guys and girls and you know, all the fur babies as well, because let's face it, we have the fur babies apparently joining in. I much prefer to talk to you. It's an interactive, I do live stream. It's a live streaming channel, hence the name, Colour and Chat, because you colour and you come and chat with me. And I do think that, you know, every now and then it's good for me to do an upload because I can finish projects like this. We're going to finish our Autumn Fairy in Fairy Miracles by Clara Markova. And I can also sort of fit in some book reviews and hauls and all the fun little bits, but they can be pre-filmed. And it's a nice thing to be able to give you that little bit extra on the channel as well by an upload. But again, as I say, and I don't like to talk about it, but it is very much dependent on pain levels, and I have to go by that. So if I could do more, I would. All right, so I'm just going to finish off with the neos on this section. I'm going to do the little sections each. And as you can see, it's pretty good on where I want the light and darks to be, you know. That is how it looks without the pencil. So I'm just going to very quickly put the heat gun on so we can speed this process up. We're going to do this section and we'll move over here. In total, this will probably take about an hour and a half, but that's fine, you know. If you've got the time to do it all perfect, you break it up if you can't. So you can do like this half one day and do the other half the next. Now, as I said, you will have a slight bit of buckling. Once you put the pencil down on it, it actually does sort of suppress that a little bit. So be careful to not, if you've got a heat gun, don't leave it on one area. Move your heat gun around so that you've got no burning one area. Check that it's dry. So you're going to have some background noise for a minute. Just bear with the noise. Just bear with the noise. We've got a delivery at the door and Chip decides this. So I said, this is recorded live. I can't take that bit out, I'm afraid. So just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. The dog's protecting the house as usual. Okay. So what I'm now going to do is just hold this down. Hold it down. Chip, 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 Chip. Thanks. I'm going to hold that down. And now I'm going to go in with pencils. So now's your Prismacolor time. Now, first off, I'm going to say grab your black. And this is a lot of smoothing out now. So I'm going to just grab the card. Just put it on the chair. Thanks. I'm going to grab the black. And just bear with me a second while that gives it a moment anyway. Okay. So the black's going to do a lot of the smoothing out for us and get into the areas. Oh, is it snowing? And it's snowing here. Andrew just told me. Okay, so get your black Prisma, make sure it's nice and sharpened, and now you're going to start to smooth out. So I'll come up to that area after. Right, so now you're going to start to smooth out those areas that we've just done in black, and as you come towards the area here with the blue, lessen your pressure of the black off. Just bear with me a second. I think I've got a little bit of Neo there on that. Yeah, I did. Okay, it's off now. So these parts are dark, and as you come down again, just lessen the pressure. So all the bits with black, just deepen the black up, and as you come towards the colours, lessen the pressure. So you're literally just going along with what you've put down in Neos. However, you're just adding and smoothing out. So that's all you're doing with this colour. It smooths. So like you can see here with your Neos, you've planned this out really well. So now you're going to go over to your blue, and we're going to pick up the indigo blue because that's a nice deep dark colour. And this colour is really good for merging into the black and keeping that nice deep blue. So, you know, they're really good. Hold on, I just got to sharpen my pencil up. I'm going to try and get this done as quick as possible, but I want to also explain step by step what I'm doing. Right, so then into where you've just faded out your black, you're going to now blend in your blue, and in circular motions sort of come to the middle of it and lessen up the pressure, because again you're using your tools here, you're using what you've put down, and now you're going to pick up the colour Ultramarine, and then you're going to merge that into the indigo that you've just put down and smooth out you know, what you've done. So just put that in there. Just smooth it all out and blend it all in. And then again, you're going to pick up your black again. You know, this is how it goes. So black, and you're going to add that into this section here. And as you're coming up and you're blending into those blues, you can literally just blend it in by lessening your pressure more and more and more until it's completely off the page. So that section is a bit of pink, so we can grab, let's grab our pink rose a second and keep that one pretty light. So let's muddy that pink rose in. That keeps it nice, doesn't it? Keeps it nice and pink. Keeps that pretty bright and light for us, so that we've got like a, just like a mist as well as the pink. It keeps it quite, yeah, it looks quite good. Then we're going to get back our black. Now this area is pretty deep, so come from underneath the ribbon, and this takes a lot of like smoothing and blending, and it is a tiresome process, but you know, this is why this kind of thing can take longer than one sitting, because you might not want to do this all together, but then you know, you might get yourself lost in it. So with the black, you are smoothing out and adding that depth of the deep dark galaxy space that you see in pictures. That it is the abyss. It's so dark, so you want to capture that. So all I'm doing here is making sure that all my black is sort of deep, and you've got none of that washed out look. You want it deep. But if I hadn't have done that Neo base, this part would be a lot harder on my hand. So it's partially done for you. And I'm going to add kind of like a section there of black. So just sort of mix it in, and same with this section here. So you can kind of play it by how you'd like it. Just blend it out. Lessen your pressure in, you know, certain spots in the dark, and then you can kind of just blend it all in together. Our white will help with that as well. So you can see it really does start to come together. Again, I'm going to come down to here what we've done here. So I'll get all those blues and stuff in after. Let's get our black on the go first. Let's speed this process up. So focus on your black areas. So these parts here, you can lessen the pressure of your pencil. And in the very mid section here, you deepen it. So it's all to do with how heavy your hand is and how much you actually want to put into this background. But the good thing, as I said, the Neos do half the work for you. So they do sort this out for you really well. You just got to be patient with this part in particular. So the reason why I don't do this with paint, I mean, if you want a good galaxy acrylic paint, anything, go over to Dee Willingham's channel. I mean, she's just the queen of space with acrylic. I'm trying to do the Neos and the pencils so that you've got the alternatives as well. And I'm going off a reference picture as well as my own first attempt, which I will show you at the very end. I haven't got the physical copy. I sent it to my good friend Jen over at Reading with Pugs. Again, I'll link in both the channels that I'm referring to. So if you haven't already subscribed, go subscribe, ring their bell, and go and say hey. You're both amazing women. So I haven't got the physical copy, sadly, to show you, but I really wanted to gift that. So I'm happy that it's gone to a home that I know will love it. Whereas in my home, it's just sitting in my drawer. So I will be doing a giveaway shortly of one of my other Serene pictures on Thursday. Thursday is I think it might be the 31st. Is it, Andrew? It is, isn't it? Yeah, 31st. I will be doing a giveaway on stream. This won't be one of those comment to enter on stream of one of the Serene pictures that I have done. So one of those in the stream will be getting one of those. I thought it'd be a good thing because I'm doing them again. So my old copy can go to homes, and every now and then I'll try and do a little giveaway like that. I haven't got my own art to give away, but I have got my colouring, so I thought it would be a nice little thing because, you know, I've always liked, I don't know if you're the same, let me know if you are, but I've always liked homemade or anything that's made from someone or coloured by someone. It means a lot because that person's put so much time and effort into something for you. And you've got a piece of that no one else has. You know, you can't replicate it all the time. So it is a really nice thing to have, and I really like it. So when I get anything made by anyone, I treasure it. I've got a folder of things that I keep, and I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. Okay, so I'm just smoothing this out with the black pencil before I go in with the other colours. So this is just to make sure that the black is not grey and it is black and deep. And it does take time. I know that. So I'm going into all the sections that I've covered with the black Neo. And this part is really deep, so I'm just going to continue with that being deep. You can have some stars and stuff, but at the minute it needs to just be a nice deep coverage. As I said, you might go through quite a bit of black in this, but all's good. And then I suggest when it's all done, because of the amount of black wax that it will cause, put a bit of sheet of paper to make sure that you don't, you know, have a mess. Right, so now I'm going to grab back my indigo blue. So come over to your indigo, and I'm going to go straight into where I've got some blue and mix that into the black. And the good thing is it mixes in really, really well. Really well. So just blend that in really smoothly. Take the time, you know, the pencils are the fun. It's the fun part. It's the part to lose yourself in. And I can't tell you how much that I love coloured pencil art through anything. It is just an incredible feeling to kind of sit there and create something from nothing. And you've done it with like Neos and pencils, and then you get a result, and it's just amazing. So if you're still struggling with, you know, coloured pencils in general, please stick with them and just take the time to love them, because they are an absolute pleasure to use. Right, then I'm going to switch over to the true blue, which we've not used on this bit yet, and I'm just going to blend that into this section here, which we just put some indigo. And as you see, these are quite a bright, I've left these bright on purpose. These are quite a bright blue, which I thought would be really, really nice, because if we need to deepen it a little bit, we always can. We've got black, and the same with this area here. So just blend it all in. And then we're going to grab our pink rose. No, we're not. We're going to grab our hot pink. Get your hot pink, and I'm going to put that in first. That's going to be pink rose. So do your hot pink first. Same here. All these little bits. And wipe off your pencils, because they will have some black wax build up, but that's okay. You can get a bit of tissue and just wipe them off, or wipe them off on the side here on a bit of paper. Do it on the paper where you're putting all your, like, you know, your paintbrush residue and stuff. And then I'm going to get my ultramarine now. I'm just going to put that here. I'm going to muddy that in a little bit to that Put a touch into that pink, just a touch. So I'm going quite light-handed on that. I'm not going heavy at all. And then I want my Dahlia purple because I've not put any in this bit. So I'm going to put like a little bit of it into here. And I'm going to fade it into that pink. Just fade it. So just choose on what areas you want. I said this was going to take me an hour. There is no way on God's earth I'm going to be here an hour. It's going to be more like 2. So if you're with me, fabulous. I won't be eating till late. I thought, yeah, I'll come in here before dinner. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It is, what time now? Gone 9 o'clock at night. So I'm going to be here till about 11. Craziness. Where does time go? So we're having a filming day today and an upload day by the looks of it. Okay, so I'm going to add some into these blues and pinks. There we go. And then just with my black, I just want to deepen that bit a little. I just noticed that I haven't smoothed that out entirely now. And I just want to go through that. I want to break that bit up a little bit. Okay, just break it up. I didn't want that as a full piece. So in that section, we're going to put our stars after. We're not going to do that now. So I want a larger section here of the dark indigo blue. So I'm going to leave this bit here for a minute and I'm going to come straight down to the bottom. And I'm going to put straight away, before I do the black, I'm going to pick up the Prussian blue Neo. And I'm going to just do a large area of that. Just like that. Just that's how I want that to go. I want it to go large into small, into a bit bigger, into small. And around that, I want a touch of mauve. Just around it, just a touch of mauve. So I'm going to bring in the mauve, and I'm just around the edge, going to give it a tiny hint of it at the end there. And just a touch there. That's all. That's all I want in that section. Then we're going to grab our black Neo. And now we're going to go around the entire part of it now. So where you've just been, any other section around it. We're going to go around the entire thing. Meet it. You know, meet the colours. But don't overlap them. Just meet them. You know, I say don't. You can do what you want. It's entirely up to you. But it's just, as I say, this is more me showing you just how I do this. So if I like just zoom you out a second, you can see on a larger scale what I'm sort of aiming for. Now this area on the other side is going to be quite dark, and I am going to have large sort of, you know, parts going into it. This is smaller because it's smaller sections. These are larger sections the other side. So now again, with your, you know, your paintbrush and your water and your paper towel is so important on this section. It's so important. I'm going to make sure my brush is nice and damp, not soaking wet. And now I'm just going to go first of all to the blue. I'm going to wipe off, and I'm going to mix in that black as well. So just be careful on this bit because it's near these small ribbons. It's a little bit tighter space. So just be a little bit more cautious. You can put some of that black in there. So the thing is, when I put the black in, I can mix some of the black into the blue and it will be fine. I'm going to grab over to my other smaller brush here, which is number 4 in the round brushes of the Daler Rowney Graduate. So it's a bit too wet. The reason why is because it's little spaces and it's actually easier to control for me in small spaces. There is a lot more control for me in this part. So just mix it in. You can make, you know, you can make colours, but your black is going to obviously be the most dominant colour here. So here's a tiny bit of purple. And you got your black. Now your black's got to go in this tiny little space there. Again, just put some water on your brush, but not too much, and wipe off. And I repeat, I am not an artist. I am not trained in art. I'm not any of that. I'm just someone who loves colouring, and anything that I sort of pick up or learn, I like to share. Or anything that I, you know, do, I like to just share. I'm not in any way, shape or form trained. I've not done art in my life, you know, for a career, none of that. So my word isn't, you know, necessarily the right words. But, you know, that's not what the channel's about. The channel isn't an artist. It's a colorist showing you what to do in her way. So I hope that, you know, as I said a million times, I hope you pick things up and enjoy it and, you know, have fun. That's the whole point. Okay, so I've pretty much covered all that area before I go in. So you see it's quite a deep, heavy blue, but I am going to tone that down a little bit. Right, so last time, before we go to the small sections and the other side, just dry it off with a dryer. I'm going to put you zoomed out for a moment, just so you can see on a larger scale. The good thing is I've not used too much water at all. That's dry. Okay, now you're going to get Prismas again. So move your water aside and your paper towel, because you don't need that for a minute. And now we need our cards for the Prismas. I still got that in my white, but I'll do my white after at the end of everything. Okay, so first off, we need our, I'm going to say we're going to go in with our blue first, but I want a cloud blue for a minute because I'm going to tone down a bit. So I'm going to go in with cloud blue. I'm going to zoom you back in to show you what I'm doing. Okay. And where we've put all this blue, I'm going to really tone that down to like a pale blue on the edge before I go in with any black. I'll bring in the indigo, but I just want to tone the edges down. So this is just to start with. Right. Then we're going to get our indigo blue. And now I'm just going to go to the edge. We're going to come in with black ultimately, you know, but I just want to make that, I wanted to change that blue up. Okay. And just bring some of that down as well. And then I'm going to grab the Dahlia purple. This is before we come in with black and change it. So we're going to add our smoothing out stage. That's what we're doing at the minute. So go to the edge and just smooth out that bit. And then I'm going to use the pink rose over that purple section there, just a second. Right, now we're going to go in with our black, and now we're going to really sort this out. Our black is the best bit because you can change this up entirely. You know, you don't have to have it so in your face. You can tone it down. You can put the amounts that you need. Let me just have a sip of my juice. Okay, so now's your black. Now you really need to start smoothing out. If you're right-handed, start on the left-hand side. If you're left-handed, start on the opposite side. The reason why is so that you don't put your hand through and smudge, because it's easy to do, believe me, because it's waxy, and you'll end up with a big waxy print. So I'm just going to add some of this black into here very lightly. So let's go on the edge a bit and just add a touch into this blue. So it really is the best bit. I love doing this bit, putting the black pencil in and starting to really like form it. It forms it for me in exactly what I'm looking for or expecting from it, you know. So I'm doing quite a firm pressure. The Neos have done all the base for me, so I don't have to worry too much. But I am putting a good amount of pencil down. I'm loving the black pencil today. It's probably had the most use today than it has in a long, long time, my Prisma Black. I use my Poly Black usually, but the Prisma Black is best suited for this. The Poly Black doesn't give, well, for me, it's not, because it's not wax, this is just so much easier. You've got to work a little bit harder with the other one. On top of the Neos and Prismas, to me, are like magic. They just work side by side. It's like they've got a really good relationship going on the page. They just work like cheese and a cracker. They work really well. Okay, so be like mindful of your armor that you have actually coloured. You don't want to, you know, be taking out all your hard work here. So your black's really good. Now, again, underneath, just sort of, just line it out. Just go around the outline of it. And make sure that you cover all your black areas first, and then this section I'm just going to leave as complete black, because what's the point? It's only a tiny little bit. Keep with. Okay, so now I'm just sort of sorting out what I want to do with my black before I add any whites, or, you know, make it smoky or whatever I want to do with it. Okay, so I'm just kind of adding in a little bit more black in there, and now we're going to go with white over, you know, some spaces. So I'm going to zoom you out so that you've got a wider look before we do this bit. So now you need your Prismacolor white. There's no point in swatching the colour, so it's just going to say Prismacolor white. It's not going to have any colour to it. And all I'm going to do is just smooth around some of these edges and make like a bit of a mist. Now, I'm not pressing hard. I'm going like super light over this section. This isn't a part that you need to go really heavy with. There's no point, because it just muddies it, you know. I think Dee Dee has showed 100 times to us to emphasize that if you're putting the white, the Prisma white, over black Prisma, it's just going to muddy it. So it is a case of, this is your black area, you're going through with a Prisma white, it's just dragging the colour and muddying it. So, and she showed that the reason why is if you go with like a Posca, let's get my paint going, you can do Posca over it and it won't muddy it, you know. It's that whole thing, and Dee Dee showed that so many times to us to emphasize that. So I always learn from her. But so this is not for that. This is just to make a bit of a haze. That's all I'm using it for. It's a haze. It's hazy. Just to make it look like it's just got a bit of, yeah, like space haze. You know what I mean? It's like if you look at some galaxies, they've got like a tiny little bit of a haze over it. You can do it with a white acrylic paint, but I know that would just be a hot mess with me. So I'm just putting a tiny bit of that just to make it blend out and hazy a little bit. So that's literally all I'm doing. And then we will do this little section here. Okay, so that really sort of emphasizes that part. Now, this area, I don't think needs to have a heck of a lot. So all I'm going to do, I'm not even going to go in with the Neos because you're going in too much detail there. I'm going to just straight up go in with a Posca black. So I need to find it, which will be handy. Shake it up. And these little tiny bits, I'm going to do those bits in like the larger parts in Neos, but these tiny little sections, I'm not even going to torture myself. So grab your Posca. This is in 1M. And these are acrylic paint pens, but there is no point torturing yourself in these tiny little spaces like here. So just grab a Posca. And just head in there. Just head in those little tiny crooks and crannies and tiny annoying little bits that is hard to get in there with the Neos. So don't force it, just be a chicken like I am and opt out and grab your Posca paint pen in black. Oh, which reminds me, I need to, let me write that down. I'm just reminding myself then. I need to grab myself some Poscas in 1M white and black. Okay. Poscas. Just remind myself there. You get a random thought in your head because I know this is the last one of the ones. So I'm not like, again, May is all encompassing with her. You know, grabs the paint and refills her paint pens, and I take my hat off to that lady. I can't do that. It's too much. And you can buy like a pack of them for, I think, a pack of 6 whites in the UK for about a tenner. Same with the black, and you've got 6 then, which is going to last you probably the entire year. So, you know, it's nice and easy. It's the easy option. Let's just say that. We're allowed the easy option. Okay, so I'm going in the super tiny parts. You know what? Let's just go over it because I can put the Prismas over these little sections. Prisma goes on these, I think. Well, we'll soon find out. I'm sure I did that on the last one. Okay. So these are real-time videos. I could do this whole thing and speed up the process in total. But I think you've got the option to speed up on your YouTubes now. So that is an option that you can do. And as I said, the good thing now is with the colour cards. I mean, I haven't got one for Poscas. Maybe I should. I might make those. We'll do a Posca one. I've got quite a few. What I can suggest is if you're watching this on playback a few times and you don't want to listen to the same chat over and over, you can mute it now and you can follow along just watching with the colour cards on the screen, which is good. It's it's giving you that option. Right, so I won't talk my way through this part because you can, you know, I've said what I'm doing. So I'll just shut up for 5 seconds. Well, for a couple of minutes. I'm going to say 5 seconds. It won't be 5 seconds. It'll be a couple of minutes. I'll just keep stum just while I finish off these little sections here with my Posca pen. Oh no. Come on. I thought it had a bit more than that. I was going to keep stum and now I'm like shaking my Posca pen to absolute pieces because it's run out. All right, I'm going to have to do this little bit and then I'm going to grab a fine liner. Oh no. Right. That ran out. I knew I was due to get there. I didn't think it ran out that soon. Come on, you failed me. You failed me. All right, I'm just going to grab a fine liner then. This is just a... Oh, everything is just not working. Let's try some. Let me have a look to see if I've got a black pen of some kind. Oh. Let's grab this one. What about this one? Yeah, this one will work. Okay, this is just black fine liner for the minute. I thought I was lucky then, and my Posca wouldn't die on me, but it did. Oh, well, do you know that Posca pen has been with me for about a year, so I can't moan. So you stick with your Poscas. Well, I just chop and change and find something in my pencil case. I'll have to see if I've got another one. I'm pretty sure I've got the thin one. You know, there's 0.7, but that's too thin for what I'm looking for at the moment. I needed the one. Never mind. As I said, I've put it on my little list beside me to get later, so I'll grab that. Right. Hopefully this won't fail me. And this is just a drawing pen, but they all work. It's inking, isn't it? That Posca was well loved. I'm not going to call this a galaxy background. I'm going to call it a space background. Space girl. Right, so instead of, you know, taking an age to do those little bits, I just thought it'd be so much easier to fill it in that part. What I'm going to do on the Posca parts is grab my dark indigo and just test out, if not we can go over with pencil, just test out whether it will come up a bit. So I'm just going to grab my dark indigo. It will yeah, it will, because this is acrylic. I can't do it on the bits that I've done the drawing pen, but if you've got the Posca, you can slightly see that through. Now, it might not show up on the camera, but it will show up mine. So then I'm just going to get the white, Prismacolor white, and I'm just going to add a little touch of it just to peek through, and it is literally just a tiny amount, just to make it look like it's sort of mixed in with the rest of the galaxy background, because you're going to add some stars. Now, grab the Posca white. So let me just put that on a bit of paper. so you know what I'm using. I will get the acrylic paint to do that properly after. So this is just the white Posca. This is just the white Posca. Give it a good shake, and I'm just going to add a few. We're going to do all those in a minute, like the rest of them. So I'm just adding a few in, just to sort of make it blend in, and probably do, you know, just a little tiny star. It shouldn't, there's no pattern, so you don't have to be neat and precise, you know. They're not in the air. So if I just bring it in a little bit, you'll be able to see what that inner bit looks like. So the inner bit is just to match the outer, because we're going to go with the paint now. Now, just to speed that up, you could go by hand, it's going to take you forever. Grab yourself some white acrylic paint and grab yourself a nice, you know, just a nice flicky brush. So something you can flick with. I mean, these ones are pretty good. So these are really cheap budget. These are the Royal and Lanical, and they're good to be able to just splatter. However, you're going to need some paper just to cover a bit of your illustration. So I'm going to zoom out again. I'm going to grab myself a bit of paper now, or a bit of tissue of some sort, and I'm just going to splatter that edge before we go to this side next. Now, if you've got anything like rice paper, or, you know, any kind of paper that would just, you could sort of mold a little bit to size so that you don't have to use a huge piece, and then that'd be good, because, you know, that's easily tearable. I just grab myself paper towel, and all I do is like cover that part, and just in small amounts, I cover the bits that I don't want splattered. So I might do like that area there, and just hold it down, you know, at the time that I'm splattering. So I could hold that and just flick a little bit so that catches it. So that's all I'm going to do. And if it goes on anything, this is where the baby wipes will come in handy, because you can just quickly wipe it off while it's wet. Now, this is just a cheap craft acrylic paint. It's not an expensive brand. This was like £2 for a big tube of it. Really versatile. You can use it for many things. So just put a small amount, and literally I'm just going to put it on my hand like that. It's tiny. And then just damp your brush and just add that in. Now, wipe your hand off, you know, you don't need to keep it on your hand, and just flick where you want the paint to go. Now, this is like small amounts. You can add Poscas in for the bigger, larger amounts after. And anything that goes on your ribbons or illustrations, that's fine, because all you do is grab a baby wipe quickly while it's wet and take it off that. Just take it off, you know, it comes off straight away. It's not on anything that I want it, you know, don't want it to be on. So it is a case of just flicking it. Now, you can do it from a height. If it smudges or does any like lines, then I can wipe them off, because it will. Right, And then with your baby white, because it's done the little splatters, but with your baby white, just take off those little bits that you don't want. It's the good thing about baby whites, they're just easy. So I want maybe a round one. Let's try this one. I don't want it going over everything, so just block and barrier up so you don't get it over everything. Just be careful with your splattering. Your flat ones are easier to use. And then any big ones that you want to add in, just add them in with your Posca. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is grabbing my baby wipe again, clear up any mess I've made. It doesn't make too much. And as I said, if there's something that I don't like, just take out like the lines that I don't want. It's easy. Okay. And that's added some space, like bits like that. It doesn't add too much. It just gives it a little, it's like a scattering of it. And then all I'm going to do with my Posca is add to that, so the bigger ones. So at the minute, I can see that I'd like just a few bigger dots. So I really do think that it's just easier to add your small ones in with get my words out in a minute, with paint, and then you can go in with your Posca and add the bigger ones. Just randomly add. Just go with the flow and where you want them. This is your picture. So just add away. Just make sure that your Posca is nice and juicy. I don't like that one. So the good thing, you can just rub it out. Just add as and how you want, and it really does give it that effect. And as I said, if there's anything that you want to take out that's gone on your illustration, just take it out. There we go. You can just deepen it up again with a bit of red. Same with that. Just take it out of the baby white, but just be careful because you're going to rub, you know, it is watercolor, you can rub it off. Okay, so that's one side. Now, if you want to just, you know, if there's something that's gone wrong, grab your black pencil. Like with me, I don't like that bit. So I'm just going to take that out again. Just go over it with black pencil. It's great. There's no mess ups. There can't be mess ups because your pencil can help that. There can't be a mess up with paint because your pencil can help. See, it changes it up entirely. I don't want that. There's like a line that it created. I don't want that. So just take the line out. It's great. Okay, and that's one side. And now we've done like 1 hour. So it takes an hour a side. That's fine. That's fine. We're creating it. Good. Okay, now we're going to move on to this side. So we're going to go back to, that's easily dryable. It dries on its own. So now we're going to come back to from here going over. So we're going to go to our Neo 2s. And we're going to pick up our black first of all, because that's going to join over here. So I'm going to keep you panned out for now because you don't need to come in on this bit because I'm showing you exactly step by step what we're doing. The screen has gone dark for some bizarre reason. Let's brighten you up. There we go. So now we're going to go back over to our black Neo. Okay, and we're going to put, I think I'm going to put a bit more pink in there. So let's go for the pink. And I'm going to okay, so I'm just going to do a random one like that and come back to your black. Okay, so go over, you know, like above and underneath of that. Just be careful. So let's make sure that that area is covered. And then we're going to come here because I'll join it up. So we'll come with our black there. So just be generous with this, and don't forget your pencil smooths it all out, so don't worry about this part being not smooth and any of that stuff. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up my Prussian blue. I think I want some in here, so let's put that mixed in with this. And the same, I'm going to put some of that Prussian blue up there as well, so let's just go for it. Okay, then we're going to go back to black, sort the top out first, and we'll work our way down. So I'm going to come up here. These are highly pigmented, these Neos. That's why they help so much as a base. They really do give you that stepping stone. So bring over your paper so that you're covered. I'm going to say, before we do any more of that, let's pick up the purple violet. I'm just going to have a hint of this. I'm not going to put much of this at all. Okay. Just in that section there, and then go back to your black. Alrighty. So nice, generous amounts on your page. And then same down here. Before we move down, let's sort out this top bit first. It's good to sort of do one bit, isn't it? Okay, now we're going to get our water before we move on down. Let's do the top and then move down like each bit at a time. I'm just looking at that, guys. I just want to get my black a second, my black Prismacolor. I don't like that one, so I'm going to take that one out. That's what I mean. This is a beauty. You can always add if you want to, but I don't want to. I want that one out. It's bugging me. That's better. Didn't like that one. I just want to. I'll add a couple more in after, but I didn't like that bit. That was bugging me. Okay, that's much better. How funny. You just sit there looking at things and you're like, oh no, I don't like it. Just grab my white Posca again. I'm just going to put a few. There we go. And just a little sort of tiny one there. Much better. Much prefer that. Funny how things like bug us. I just looked over and I was like, nope, 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 don't like it. Just do not like it. Right, next. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Right. So grabbing my brush. I need to go and get myself some clean water. So just 2 seconds. As I said, I'm not editing this. This is how it is. Like how I'm doing it is exactly how it's filmed and put out there to you. So if I mess up, any mess ups, they're on screen. Okay, now I've got some fresh water. That is Chip, if anyone's wondering what that is. Chip, you right? You okay? Hey? Okay. So I've got some more paper tissue and some fresh water. Okay, right, I'm back now. I really wanted to get fresh water. Okay, so get your paper towel. Right, I wouldn't suggest going too close to her head because we can use the black pencil for that. Just be a bit careful on that bit. So just keep close-ish, but don't really put it anywhere near the outline because it's gonna you could easily mess up and you can't take it back, and you've done all that work. So my suggestion is wait till you go in. You're going in with pencil very shortly, so keep that. Okay. So I'm just mixing the, don't worry about the black going in. We will kind of want some of that black to go in that pink because we're going to use the black in the pink anyway. Because it's all going to sort of muddy and merge. Why has that gone so dark? It's when you put certain things in the screen. Okay, so just work it, work that part. It will go slightly muddied, but that's fine. Okay, now we're going to come down to this black. So just mix it straight onto the page. And I'm not going to go too close to these lines because I'm going to leave a bit of a space. Because I don't want to go into our ribbons here. Okay, so we've got this nice Prussian blue, which I really want visible. And I will stop that there, obviously, because we've got to move down as we go along. So if you really want to, you can grab your black and just add a little bit more onto it by putting the brush to the edge of the Neo 2. And it will just make sure that you know you've got all your black in that you need before you go in with pencil. So you've got that there as well. Your piece of card, just in case you're coming off the edge like I tend to. Okay, and then I just want that to mix in. Now, again, it looks muddy for now. That's fine. That's what I'm looking for. So when I say about Neo's looking a bit messy when they first are laid down on paper. Can you see what I mean? They really do. I mean, unless you're mixing them on a palette, and then, you know, they're based, and then you add in all your pencil detail. That's what changes it. It's the pencils, it's the work, it's the time, it's the real time hours that you are prepared to stick into these pictures, because they are not done in any short space of time. They take a while. Now, if you're in this hobby like I am for the long haul, these kinds of things are, you know, actually not a chore. They're more therapeutic and more of a love, more of a dedication for all the right reasons. You know, you're spending the money on the stuff because you genuinely want to learn them, and you are, you know, each medium is going to take you a while. It's, oh gosh, I'm still going, I'm learning everything. You know, my latest venture is the markers, and they're taking me a while because my back's not been great, but you know, they're ready and they're ready for me. So yeah, and just take your time and see how, you know, much you can achieve. And you know, we all learn and evolve, and it takes time. And I say with the Neos, like, oh gosh, they are a learning curve all in themselves. So that top bit's done. What I think I might just do is just go straight in again with this black, because that, you know, we've done that top bit. So I'm just going to come straight in with my black Neo again. Excuse me for being ridiculous and forgetting that again. I keep forgetting, and I've got them out as well. Right, so what I'm now going to do is going to come back in with let's move these so I know what I'm doing. I'm going to come back over with a Prussian, and then I'm going to also pick up the Cobalt blue. I've not used that on this side yet, and I'm going to add a hint of that in and end it with it. Okay. Then I'm going to go black. I'm going to add just, you know, like I'm going in there a touch, so I know how much black I want into the blue there, so that I can mix it. So I'm going to bring some across, and again I'm going to sort of break that bit up. Just keep with what I want to do. Then I'll smooth all that out with the pencils. Oops, oopsie daisy, I dropped that on the floor. Okay, now again, paper towel, your paintbrush. Oh, way too much water. Okay, so just soak that off a bit. Let's drag that. Okay, so just be mindful about the amount of water that you put on this paper, because you put too much, you absolutely drench it, and it is no good. It can blot and go like blotting paper, which is absolutely disastrous, because then that means another copy, it'll be the third one, and there's no way. You know, but things do go wrong on live streams and streaming in general. And this is like a live stream because it's a pre-recorded private stream. So you won't see it as me live, although I am streaming it like a live stream. It's a private stream, and then I publish. So I'm not editing. I'm showing you everything step by step. The good, the bad, the ugly. You get to see it all. Okay, and these bits are like a really bright blue, so I'm going to want to keep them as such, but I want to keep the black coming through there. So just, this is your base, it's just your base. Okay, so let's bring that down. I said you've got a piece of card there, so it protects you. And let's just first off dry that. So I'm just getting my Ranger gun. Just be very careful about the amount of water that you're putting down. Okay, now we're going in, before we do that bottom section, which will be our last bit, and then before we add all the stars, finishing touches and all of that, first off I'm going to bring over my see, some of it goes through, that's what concerns me. I don't want it to be, no, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, that's what I mean by the amount of water. Just be very cautious. Don't be too happy with the water because it can backfire. Just let me just make sure that bit's dry. Bear with me, guys. It is just emphasizing how important you should not go in heavy with water, because it just will go through, it will ruin your page and it will ruin your paper. So it really is a case of make sure that you're careful. So I'm going to come over with my black Prisma. Okay, and straight away I'm going to make sure that I've gone around her head. So this is where you join it now with what you've just done on the opposite side. Just be very, very, very careful. So I'm just going to get lost in this a second, which as soon as you know what I'm doing, you can just, you know, watch the process on this bit. So this is just going around the outline of her hair and making sure that there's no like ghosting around her. Okay, so it's just around like here. And then just be careful because you can, because it's in the spine, you know, you can go and sort of onto the opposite page quite vigorously. So just be a little bit more mindful at this bit because you're up in the spine of the book. Now I'm gonna bring the black into this pink area. However, I'm going to be mindful of the amount because I do want to put pink in there. So I'm going to come to the edge of the ribbon and sort of drop it in. And same with sort of here, I'm going to join it up. But although I am going to put pink in there, so just bear with me on that bit. So I'm going to grab my hot pink a second before I go shading any more with the black. And I'm just going to put some of that pink in there. So I am going to sort of mix it all in with the black in a second. So just, that's it. Because it gets the black in there. Okay. So you can tone down the pink. However, I do want that just bright on that section, and then I'll tone it down after. So just put it late. Remember, you're just laying it down to start with. This isn't your final piece. your final piece is your end result. At the minute you're tweaking, you're smoothing out. So it isn't, you know, this is your time to now sort of make it how you want it. Right, now here as well, so grab yourself a brush if you've got a brush to dust. Sorry about shaking the camera for a second. Just dust any of the wax bloom away. And this section here is all black. So go along the lines of these ribbons. And this is like a deep dark black now that I want. So I'm going to really go to town with this black Prisma. So quite a heavy lay down of this. It can get quite waxy and heavy. Don't abuse your paper, so don't go like in there, but you do want enough to show. And the good thing is, because it is waxy, it's quite thick, so you don't actually need to go like hard. I am pressing firm, but I'm not pressing down in my paper to like peel it or hurt my paper. So just enough so that it's nice and deep, and you know it will work. Black Prisma pretty much covers everything. It's like the black to just go in and just be like, I'm in charge. The poly is the one to go, I'm a little bit more soft and I need a little bit of work, but I'll get there. And the Prisma's just like, I'm here. And that's why I don't use the Prisma Black too frequently, because it is so deep and heavy and waxy. But it works for this. So there we go. That is the story of the blacks. The black pencil. How it's born and what it thinks. I honestly love my white and black pencils. They're brilliant. I don't know where we'd be without them, to be fair. Like, they do so much and you don't even realise it. They change everything. And it's funny when people say to me, oh, Sam, what's your favourite colour? I say black. They're like, Sam, it's not a colour. I know it's the absence of colour, but I still love it. So if I had to choose, it would be black. So I stand by that black's a colour and it's my favourite. Andrew will tell you. Although I like grey as well. I'm so like, and I like cream, like ivory type of cream. I'm really plain in black and white, and I just, yeah, I'm a bit strange like that. But to use in colouring books, I'm going to say my favourite tones is like the sanguines and the like Indian red and terracottas, and I love those earthy, autumnal, fall, really nice, deep colours. I think they're just so stunning. Okay, so you can see how much work goes into this black part. I'm going to grab my indigo blue, and I'm just, before I'm, you know, bring in my black again and smooth everything out, I just need to come in with my indigo blue a minute. I'll just put where I want these blues to go. So there's some here. Okay, around there as well. So I want some black in there as well, just a tiny bit. just a touch. So I'm not going to put the card there for that. Right. So just before we start, you know, really planning where we want these colours, I'm going to have to bring like a Dahlia purple into that. But I'll do that in a minute. So I'm still with my indigo blue. And I'm really thinking about where I want this colour to go. And I kind of want it to go all around this area. So just be mindful of this like spine bump because you don't want to tear it. There's quite a lot of the blue there, isn't it, up here? But it's dark blue, so it's not that noticeable. Right, then I want to go in with my true blue. And I just want to lighten some areas up, just on that, along those lines. So we're going to bring a little bit of that in. Don't worry, we'll smooth it out after. We're just planting colours in at the minute. We're planting them where we want them and where we want to mix them, etc., etc. So this is just our little tool to do that. Then I'm going to go back to my black again and I'm going to bring that back in. So I'm just going to bring some of that, smooth that out on the edge. So blend that in and then come down here. Come along your line. Okay, I'm going to bring some of that purple as well. I'm actually getting a hand ache. My hand's like, I've had enough. Dahlia purple. If you do suffer with any problems with your hands or, you know, any arthritis, then this probably wouldn't be advisable unless you're going to do it in a few sittings, which is totally doable. You don't have to do it in one like I am. Although, you know, believe me when I say I can relate with pain, just probably in different areas, because I sit here and I'm having issues with that. However, I'm having a good time, so I've taken my painkillers and I'm happy to do it. And it's just one of those things, but don't be put off entirely by it. You know, it is fun to do. Just have the patience and hopefully you'll have fun with it. But it is quite a lot of work in the hands. So now I'm smoothing out and adding in my black in total, you know, where I want it to be dark. So this edge is a bit tricky, so be careful on that part as well. There is a lot of work going into this black, really is. Okay, so that's that colour, and I don't know if it's showing on the camera, but there's like a bit of blue and purple in there, but I want it to be subtle, I don't want it to be in your face. So I'm going to come down to here again. I need to sharpen. You're going to go for a lot of black. You're going to go for a lot. Now, I need to get my indigo and my black now. So I'm going to grab, grab my indigo first off, and I'm going to shade that into this area here. So just along these lines into this area. And we're going to make this part quite blue. So just roughly in circular motion, shade that Prisma in. And we're going to get our black in after. So just add the colour in. That's the main thing. Add the colour in, do all the smoothing and the where you want the black to join it and all of that after. So I'm still going to sort of bring the blue here as well. And that's a bright bit. So I'm going to bring in the true blue there. And the same with this section here. So hopefully you can see that. Then my indigo again. It's more a 2-hour video, isn't it? I lied when I said it was going to be an hour. Oh my gosh. And on the uploads, please bear with me. I promise you, I've been doing like 5.5 hours of filming today now. So if you added it up with the live stream, so bear with me. I will do the links. I will do the links. Bear with me, guys, because I have to actually eat something as well. It is now 10 past 10 at night, and I've not had dinner or anything yet because I've gone from live streaming since 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it's now 10, so it's like it's a lot of hours. It's 6 hours and I haven't eaten yet, so bear with me, but I will do them. All right, coming over to my black, and now I'm calming down. So heavy amount into this section as well. And as I'm going to join the blue, so I'm just going to bring it down a minute. I'm just going to join it in. I want to go fairly, you know, heavy. And I'm going to join this blue, and I'm just going to lessen my pressure, obviously, to just merge it in. It's just merging. I'm not overtaking the blue or the color. I'm just merging it together. So I'm going to make that blend meet. So it's just going to meet up with it. Hopefully this will all be worth it in the end. Okay, same with this part here. So I'm going to come around to the edging. I'm just going to merge up into these blues with it. So just kissing it, just kissing it, just touching, right, just very, very small amount. And then you see this side, okay. Then with this part here, I'm just going to have to sharpen my pencil. Just make sure very carefully that you're not going into her face. Now, I am going to stick a little touch of the, hold on, I can't find the card that I'm looking for. Just haven't found what I'm looking for. No, I can't find it. Where is it? Where are you? Oh, there you are. I found it. I'm going to bring some true blue just here. Okay, just a little bit. So this is quite bright, but we're going to bring our black down there. Our black is getting a workout. Right. Okay, I found all my cards now. I've just got them in front of me. Back to black. And I'm going to make sure that the coverage is well, you know, good coverage over everything again, you know, how I've been doing, same pattern. And as I said, when you come to the blues, just make sure you lessen the pressure into the blue so that the blue still stands out, but it's kind of then going into a heavier lay down of black as you reach away from the blue. And that applies to all the colors as well. So if you've got a color there, do a heavy lay down of the black. heavy, heavy, heavy. And as you're coming here, light, 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 and just kiss that colour a little bit. So just a touch. So, and that is how you do it. So heavy, 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 light, 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 light. That is how it's going. I feel like an idiot saying it like that, but you know what I mean. So heavy pressure and light, 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 light to nothing. Yeah, don't worry about me. This is getting, because I've been filming for so long, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just at that point where it's like, right, let's just wrap this little baby of mine up and make sure she is satisfactory to what I'm happy with and happy to show you, so that you don't go away and hate the product. Although you don't have to do the background. You know, you can leave it with just the illustration. Backgrounds are not at all that you have to do it. Some illustrations look best without, in my opinion, and this isn't one of them that has to have a, it just doesn't have to have it. I'm just doing it. But there's no reason why you have to do a background at all, apart from just wanting to. So if you don't like this part, or you don't feel that you can be bothered, because it is a lengthy process, I told you, then don't do the background. Honestly, just leave it out. It's not going to look bad without. It's not going to look empty without. It's fine. So don't always feel the need to have to do them. If you really are like, I don't want to do it, I just don't, then sweethearts, honestly, leave it. I've done many pictures where I've not done a background, and I've been more than happy with them. They're fine. They don't need it. So don't conform to just because everyone's doing them, because that's just pressure. You're putting unnecessary pressure on yourself when you actually don't really want to. This is just here because we're going to do a galaxy, because that's what I decided for this particular picture, and I've done it previous, and you know, all of that. There's a million reasons why I wanted to do it, but there's many pictures I've done that I've not bothered, and I'm absolutely fine about it. I don't feel they need it. Okay, Dahlia Purple is going to have a little appearance here in this part. And I'd like to give a shout out as well to one, I can't name her, she knows who she is, who provided the Prismas as well, to like the new ones here. She provided a new pack for us for the channel for this thing and this kind of thing. And we're using the plug point as well. So thank you. You know who you are. Big love your way. And for those of you who have always supported, whether being, you know, just being there, or you've sent something, or you've done something, or I can't tell you how appreciated it is. It goes straight back into the channel, guys. You know, I show you all the time. And, you know, it's exactly what it goes on. I spend more than that on the channel. I spend an absolute fortune every month just getting bits that we can maybe have fun with, or I can experiment with before I come on, you know, a video and show you, etc, etc. So thank you so much. It truly means a heck of a lot to know that you're here, you're supporting, you're enjoying most of all, and you're participating, because you've opened a world up, not just for yourself, for me, for others, where we feel comfortable and we're part of a community that everyone seems to be so fortunate to be in. And yes, okay, there's bad people and there's bad times, and there's people who aren't honest or legit or any of that. You know, you've got that, but you've got that in all walks of life. It shouldn't reflect anything. So this is an amazing hobby. Art is an amazing hobby. Crafts is just an escape for everyone, and it's just such a great thing to be involved in. It really is. Okay, I'm going to grab my pink rose a minute, and I'm just going to add a hint of that around. So I'm just going in. I'm not pressing too hard, to be honest. So I'm just going in a little bit with this. I want it to be on this bit here as well. So, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it is quite a nice bright colour, as is this at the top, and I don't know why it's not picking it up, bizarrely. So let's go for our Dahlia purple again and give it another little coating. We're nearly done, and then we can add all the finishing touches and smooth up what we might have missed or all of that. Okay, so I want my black again because I'm not entirely happy with all of that. So I'm just going to go in with my black. I'm going to break up some of it. So this is, oh, mine's green. Yeah, I just want to break some of it up a bit and do it to when I'm, you know, what I'm happy with. So that is more what I'm looking for. Same with coming down like in sections. There we go. It kind of breaks it up, makes it look a bit more realistic. Right, next section. We're nearly there. Look, we're going the last run. Last run. So straight away I can see that I need a fine liner for this silly little bit here. So grab a fine liner. So I'm just going to put fine liner, but I'm going to say Posca in 1M black. Don't do it in do it in one of them. Mine ran out. So I'm just using a fine liner, but use that, honestly, that's the better tool because you can do all the special effects on it then, but because they're acrylic paint, it's easy to go over. But I have just run out on screen, as you saw, so I have to use a black fine liner for now. I'm just using my drawing one, my uni pin, pilot pin. You can use your Posca if you do have one. If you don't, oh my gosh, you need them in your life. They are like just a tool to have. One thing as well, it's quite, can you see my hand? I'm going to wipe my hand. It is because it's waxy. You're going to have to put paper on top of this when you're done because it is incredibly waxy and you're going to smudge. So I'm going to say baby wipes are your best friend here because you can take off all the smudging. Just, you know, it doesn't matter, but just try and be a little bit cautious when you're doing this so that you're not smudging because it is highly waxed. The Prismas, they're just wax galore and heavy with it. So okay, so that, just try it with your Posca pen. Right, now we're going to go very quickly. We're going to go in with it's going to be our last section before we add the stars and we smooth it up and stuff. So I'm going to add mauve. I'm going to put mauve in. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to do that just like that, and I might put just, and I mean it's going to be like a line. Woohoo! There we go. That's mauve. Then I'm going to put in Prussian blue, and around that I'm just going to put here a bit. Ooh, it's like hi. Hi. There we go. So how do you do? I'm here now. And then we're going to put black. No, Chip, I wasn't talking to you, mate. Sorry. I confused him then. Then we're going to come in. No, actually, no, we're not. No, we're not. Ignore that. I'm going to use a touch of Mr. Colbert. Cobalt. Sam. And he's going to be here. Okay. And then we're going to go with black. Now black is the rest. And I am going to really try and cover as much as I can without going over anything. So I'm just going to add it in here. And okay. It's also going to go in here. Now just be careful. And anyone who's got Neos, who's experienced with them, and you think I'm butchering this, feedback is always welcome without being too critical. Otherwise I'm going to feel like crap. But also, how do you sharpen them? Do you put them in your sharpeners to do that? Because I feel like you're just taking away the pigment, and I don't like that, because sometimes you might need a little bit of point on them. Do you use it with a craft knife, or do you put them in a sharpener? Because you can also collect little bits, can't you? Because you can use those for watercolor. For me, if you're going to sharpen them, you're taking away the pigment. That's a good question, because I have not yet done it, because I'm a chicken and I don't want to take away the pigment. So please do let me know in the comments of this video. Also, before you ask for links, I will do it. It's just going to take me a little bit longer, because I've been filming for 6.5 hours so far today. And I've probably got another half an hour to go, which will be 7 hours filming in a day for me, which is, you know, brilliant for the channel. But it also means I might be a little bit delayed on putting things up, because it might take me even longer. So now we're going to go in. I'm going to suggest getting your little brush. So move these out of the way. We're nearly there. We're on the home run. So I'm going to get this one, which is a lot smaller, and I'm going to go into these little areas now. So just be very wary about what you're doing, where your brush is going. Make sure it's not soaking, it's just damp, enough to move the water. Yeah. Sam. Yeah, move the water. No, move the pigment. Enough to move the pigment. That's the word I'm looking for. And those who I've not seen on the channel for a while, I do hope you're all okay in the live streams. I haven't seen quite a few faces for a while, so, you know, I'm not thinking of you. I do think of people frequently. Oh, I haven't heard from so-and-so, you know. So those that are struggling with health, I wish you better. And, you know, hang in there, because it's winter and it's miserable for a lot of us. And it can also be quite hard, and you can feel quite blue. Hopefully I gave you a laugh today with my hair. I'll show you again my hair story, about my hair stand where I showed the video. My hair just literally stayed where it was, and it gave me a laugh, and I don't ever laugh at myself. But if you didn't tune in to the beginning of the live stream of today, the 29th of January 2019. I was about to say 2018 then, how bad. And you'll see the story about my hair just standing on edge and doing like it's got a ton of starch in it. So that might give you a little giggle. If you want to giggle at my expense, of course. It did make me laugh. I sent it to Desiree. She must have thought, oh my gosh. I was talking to Desiree. I sent her a video, and my hair was literally just stayed on edge like a punk. Okay, so just in these sections, I'm going to go in with this small brush, but I'm going to get my bigger one up here. So just in the smaller areas, just carefully. Don't forget, don't be that, you know, fussed about what the black looks like. It's just your base. Just your base. Your pencil work is your everything. Your pencil work is the thing here. Oh, that purple's really yummy, isn't it? That mauve. Yum, yum. Okay, mind your gorgeous work that you have worked so hard on, because I know that it will look amazing. And just be mindful of it when you're putting and going happy here with your paintbrush. So that's it. Just going around the edging. I might as well stick with this one now, eh? Okay, so that's going to be muddy-ish, but that's fine. And then we're going to go back over to here. Okay, and same up here. I'm going to sort of bring that black. And there's like a ribbon that's so small there. And then I'm going to make sure that this stays pretty blue, true blue. And then you're wiping off in between to make sure that your brush isn't too wet. Okay, so now I'm going to wipe there so I don't lose that blue completely to the black, because I do want to keep it. And the same going into this area here, just be careful because it's her hair. And we are almost home. I'm going to dry this and add all the pencil now. We're almost home. See, we're getting there. We're getting there. Right, next, not last. We're not last yet. We're nearly there. We're going to get our pencils. So let me move those out of the way because they've got to go back on the Neos. Right, lovely jubbly. So get your dryer if you want to speed this along. Get your dryer. I'm fine. I wanted to do it, one, because I thought that it might be a good one to follow along if you want to see how I did it the first time round. And two, I've got another copy of Serene. I liked the last picture. I want to replicate it. So actually, it was a pretty good thing to have done, you know, a second time round. I'm really happy that I did. Right, stop waffling, Sam, and get on with it. So now we need True Blue. Get your True Blue. I'm going to zoom you in for this part. Okay, I need to actually pull you up, don't I? Yeah, that'll be good. That's good. Right, so True Blue here. I'm just go around that tiny bit of her hood. And we're going to blend that in before we get... Don't worry about your black for now. Black's coming. Black's coming. Okay, so you've got your bases down. Let's go with. Then I'm going to get my indigo blue and blend that out. Blend that out. Sip of juice. Oh my gosh, I have been filming 7 hours. When I count the live stream and I count this is a record. It's a record. I have surpassed my record. Right, indigo blue. I've actually enjoyed myself today. Really, really enjoyed myself with the live stream, with this. We're just blabbering away. I've got to spend hours talking. I love talking. Oh my gosh. So, and I love explaining myself. So this has been a good day. I've enjoyed myself tremendously, and yesterday I got some bits that I showed. If you haven't already seen, pop over to the beginning of the 29th of January, today's stream, and you will see what I've hauled. It's not a huge haul, but they were fun. And you'll also see my hair story. So yep, if you want to go and have a little butcher's, which is, when I say a butcher's, I mean a look. It's just slang for go and have a butcher's, means go and have a look at that video. And you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can just watch the beginning and what I got. I was very happy with it all. So happy days. Right, so we are almost there. Now I'm going to get the Dahlia purple. And I'm going to blend that into that indigo, just not over the entire thing, because I'm going to then get my... Did I not pull the lilac card out? No. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Let me get the lilac card out. I thought I pulled it out. Never mind. Never mind. There it is. I've got it now. I didn't have, but I've got it now. Okay. Because once I've done the Dahlia purple edging, there we go. So it's just the edging, around the edging only of that part. Then grab your lilac and blend that into the Dahlia purple. So don't worry for now, you're just putting colours in. You are literally putting colours in. It's just putting your colours down and then we'll fiddle, which is my favourite bit, fiddling. Okay, so I think that's probably enough of the purple. Yeah, okay. Then I'm going to gab. I'm going to gab. I am gabbing. That's like talking. Okay, now I'm going to grab my black, and now is my, where is this going? So now's my time to stick all of my darker bits into my space background. And when I'm meeting these colours, as I said, lessen the pressure of your black so that it doesn't completely take over and you've still got colour there. But when you're going into like the dark areas and the darker bits, you want that to be as dark as possible. So you can be generous with your laydown. And there we go. And then when you're coming down to this indigo and you're meeting it, I just need to smooth that out. Oh no, I need to go with a little bit of Poscas. Bear with me, everyone. That was just me. You wouldn't have done that. Okay. I was just putting an extra line there so you don't see that. I'm just going around. You just go around the edge to where your black is. Okay. And then again, you're going to fill all this gap in. It's a lot of work, isn't it? I hope you're not all falling to sleep. Because I can't sing, so I can't sing you a lullaby. So you're stuck with me saying, put the shadows, put the black. Okay. So again, you're just putting just a small amount of pressure of the black into this area here. So I'm going to take over that little bit there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, last but not least, I'm going to insert the black into this area. Now, I want this quite pop of colour, this section here. So there is, let me just sharpen that, hold on. This prism is actually broken inside. Hold on, I'll have to break that bit off and start again. Bear with me, everyone. I think this is a broken lead, if I'm not... Yeah, it is. I hate that. Sometimes you get one Prisma and it's just broken inside, like halfway down, and then you've just got a broken one. Let's see if it's all right. Okay, I think I'm all right. No, it is broken. This is a broken Prisma. It really irks me. But I'm going to make it work because I refuse to go to another one. So I just have to have a broken lead. It's like broken off. There's like a half bit on it that's broken. Never mind. I've got a few blacks and a few whites, so it's not the end of the world, but I am refusing to throw it. It is getting use whether it likes it or not. It's done blooming well up to now. I think it was broken halfway down by the looks of it. You know, you get to a certain point in the pencil and then it's like broken, and by the looks of it at the bottom it is as well. It's one of those things. What happens in the production of them is that they probably get dropped or clumped, and in the factories it's probably like, you know, dropped slightly, the lead, and then you end up getting it and it's broken inside where it's been dropped, and you can't do anything about it. That's just the bad pencil halfway through, and we've all had them. We have all had them. You have a broken one halfway down, or you know, you just get a broken one in general. Aesthetically, I don't mind the cracks, but the inside, which is the lead, no, that's where I'm like, because I really don't mind aesthetics things that are wrong with them. I will, you know, I'll take that at a discount. That's fine, because some of them have a fine line crack, and aesthetically, you know, yeah, they can't sell it. But when it's the lead, no, the product's faulty, and you only get half the use out of it. But to hell am I? I'm getting use out of this pencil. It's not giving up on me. Okay, so after that little rant, you can see that when I'm coming to the colours, I'm just allowing some of the colour in. You can hear any snoring, it's Chip. Right, so I'm going to zoom out a minute, and then we are going to finish up with light touches and how we did the other side. So I will brighten it up in a minute. So I think it's okay on your screens to see. Right, so make sure now you've got any sort of, you know, crap is off your page. Let's just call it crap. I'm going to grab the white now, and all I'm going to do with the white is just make a bit of a mist on some sections. If I need to take out some of it, I will do. It's a good thing because I can just go back with black. I'm just going to add a touch at the top and sort of mix it in there to my purple. Just a touch of it. And then I think I'm going to come down to this area here and just muddy that out a bit. So that's a nice white area, isn't it? I like that. Okay, and I'll upload the picture straight away over onto Instagram and the thumbnail, so you'll get to see it. Taking a picture of something as opposed to all the lighting and all the, you know, stuff indoors is a lot different to, you know, how it's looking on screen, because the lighting can change and you have a lot of changes that happen whilst you're filming, and it's hard to keep up with, but you can get the overall picture of what it's like. Right, so now we're going to do the bigger stars. So we're just going to go in randomly. This is a white Posca. Okay, so you can do random ones however you want to do them. You don't have to follow my lead on this. We are going to get some paint in a moment. We're just being all nice and happy with the Posca pen. Oh crap, I'm telling you, white Posca Sam. This is, forgive me. I'm telling you black Posca on the other side there. It's not, it's white. Don't put black down. There's no point. You've just blacked it all out. So I want to take it off that. There you go. I just wanted to have it so it peeked out, but it wasn't on anything to do with the metal. Okay, so now do I want to add just a silly little one here? Okay, right. Now, last time of making an absolute mess. Get your paper towel. I need some clean one. Hold on. Grab your paper towel. Put to the side here. Can you see that? And also, I'm going to put it on her. So you've just literally got that, because you can always wipe it off. It's adjusted the camera. Bear with me, everyone. This is what happens when you put different things in the camera. Okay. Right. I hope you can see that and it's not. Okay. So white acrylic paint. Get a baby wipe as well ready. Just have it ready at the side. Hold on. Let's move my cards because I don't think I need them for the minute. I think we're pretty much done with them, but any finishing touches I'll probably need them back. Okay, so get your baby wipe ready and get your flicky brush. Mine's been sitting in water, so it's a little bit on the wet side, and I need another bit of tissue. Okay, so again, like, you do want a damp brush, but not overly damp. You want it, you know, just damp. It's not soaking, it's not sodden, and you can just add a bit of paint onto a surface of some kind. I'm just going to use it on my bit of tissue because I only need a little blob. You can do it on a paint palette, guys. You need the smallest bit. Okay, it's literally a blob, a little blob, and you need the tiniest amount. So this is just to it does put like a splatter in if it wants to play ball, but just mind it will add like these lines, but we can take them off. So don't worry too much about the lines. Because I will baby wipe them. Nope, doesn't matter about mess. If you don't want to do this bit, do it with a Posca, go ahead. By all means, you might end up with no mess, and that will be a result in itself. Right, lines I'll take out, don't worry, with black. Okay, so as you can see, it's made a few lines that I don't want. So I'm going to get my baby wipe on the tip of my finger. I'm just going to take that off the illustration. Just be careful. Don't press hard on this bit because you'll take off your pencil. So it's just whatever's gone on the actual illustration that I don't want. Okay, and then like it is a case of just getting your black pencil. That's going to brighten it up. Bear with me, it changes the lighting because I've just taken that off again. That's it. There we go. Right. Get your baby wipe and just wipe any like splodges and splatters that may have happened or occurred during the process of that. Because it happens. It happens. Okay. And now I want my black again. So this will take out, make sure it's, I mean, mine's dry. There's no way on earth it's not dry. So I'm just going to grab my black again, and that will just take out any of the white lines that happened. So any white lines that I don't want, which I don't want these, just take them out. You know, they're fine, but we don't need them. You can keep a couple if you want to, but I personally don't want them. However, I love the splatter effect. It's giving it a really good starry, very fine star effect. Again, I will show you that over on Instagram on the upload of the picture. It will be there because you'll, yeah, it will just be more visible over there. Now, any different finishing touches that I want, I'm looking at now. Now's your time. You're nearly there. You're going to grab a piece of card as well after. Hold on. Let's move everything out of my way because I've got everything in front of me. And I might as well finish it all up properly with you, so I'm happy with it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I've got a fine, very fine 0.5 pen, and I just want to deepen up her eyebrows just a touch. So I'm going over the black that I've done just slightly. I just want them to stand out. Same with very fine. You need a very fine drawing pen with her eyelashes. So it's just finishing touches, that's all. So any kind of anything that you want to sort of make more visible, now's your time. So I'm just going to go around that line because it just wanted to stand out a little bit more. So tweak whatever you want personally. You can just look at it now. What do you want to change about it? Anything you want to add or take away or minus? Do you want to make anything stand out in particular? Anything. So I just want to, this is just an inking pen, so you can use any fine liner. So yeah, just go around any details. And that, my dears, is wrapped up. Now, it's not perfect. It's nothing like an artist would do, but it is my version. It's my version of the Galaxy Warrior Princess that we've got. So you can see it's just my version. It's not amazing. It's just, I'm happy with it. And I really like the process of that because to me, she just looks like she's going to kick someone on their behind into another planet. And that is the whole point in this, is that we've got something that we've made from scratch. And really we just had the line art and we've made it come to life, and we have given her a life. We've given her a story. Her story is she is a galaxy warrior, and that I absolutely love. So with that, I will upload this part now. Give me till tomorrow to put all the stuff in the description. I promise you I will do it. Please give me some time. I need to go and eat. It's 11 p.m. here in the UK at night. I've been on live streaming and filming since 4 p.m. this afternoon. So I have enjoyed myself immensely. I've had a great time with you all. I am so honoured to have spent my time, and just everything that I do with you is just so much fun. So I do hope that you enjoyed this colour along. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, please tell me, you know, what you would like to do instead. Is this something that you're not interested in? Is it something that you'd like? I've got many more things that are planned for the channel. So if you aren't subscribed and you want to subscribe, please click the subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I go live. If you watch the catch-ups, thank you so much for watching. Until my next video, everyone, you take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.